Hi there and welcome to another intermediate to advanced Pilates program. Let's do the usual setup then. Heels underneath the hips, make sure your back is in neutral. You need to keep the core muscles switched on. Pubic bone, hip bones level with each other. Allow your crown to grow upwards towards the sky. Roll the shoulders back. And then we'll go through the breathing. Maintain the core connection as you breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Take a moment just to calm the mind. Connect mind with body as we practice the Pilates thoracic breathing. Super. Off we go then. We need to warm the body up. So we're going to do a couple of big breaths to bend the knees, sweep the arms. Breathe out, drop them down. Same again. Make sure those legs stay parallel as you bend them. And release. Now same again, then we'll add on. So take a hold of the right hand, pull it over towards the left. And if you want to, you can step that right foot back behind you to increase the stretch down into the hip. Same for the other side then, big breath in and pull the other hand across, stepping that foot back as well. Just watch your balance with this one. Then we're going to big breath in, clasp the hands above our head, push the hands, chin and chest forwards, stick your bottom out behind you, keep your chin pointing forwards, keep that back nice and straight, don't let yourself curl over, it's not good for the back. So tummy in, back nice and straight, the hands can go to the hips if you wish. You might find there's a bit of a hamstring stretch, if so, you can soften those knees. Then we'll big breath in. As you exhale, full fold and hang upside down. You can bend those knees, remember, if the hamstrings are tight. Keeping the core tucked in, we're going to slowly restack the spine. So take your time. Imagine the tummy muscles pushing the spine up from inside the body, rebuilding the spine one section at a time. So you come up a little taller, spine a little looser, and then we're ready to go. We're going to do tree next. So taking the foot to the inside of the leg. Make sure your core muscles are switched on. Eyes stare forward. You can leave your arms out to the side for support. Take the hands into prayer, or you can do this little add-on that I'm doing with the arms, sweeping them out to the side. Take them up above the head, keeping the shoulders stabilised down, of course, and then bringing the hands back into prayer. Let's change to the other leg then. So plug the foot, tummy muscles in, focus those eyes. Take the foot to the inside of the leg, point the knee out to the side, hands in prayer, and add on with that arm movement again if you wish. Remember, if your balance is a little on the wobbly side, keep those eyes staring forwards, belly button zipped up. Remember to breathe. Super. We're going to take ourselves to the back of the mat now, the back of the short edge. So you've got the length of the mat in front of you. We'll do a few roll downs, a couple of planks. So heels under the hips, core muscles switched on. Breathe in at the top. As you exhale, drop chin to chest, collapse the arms and shoulders forward, slowly drop yourself down. Bit by bit, slowly but surely, allowing the fingers to fall towards the floor, whether they reach or not, it really doesn't matter. Bending the knees, if you need to, of course, if the hamstrings are tight. So then let's restack. Remember, we use this move just to connect with our body, connect with our spine, make sure brain and body is all connected. Same again, tummy muscles in. The arms and shoulders forward, slowly curl forwards. Hang upside down, let the blood rush into the head. Remember, the chin is dropped onto the chest. And then we'll slowly restack. Again, one vertebrae at a time, coming up a little taller each time. Adding on with a couple of planks this time. So chin to chest, collapse forwards. Drop the hands towards the floor. Easy version to start with. Take the hands and the knees down to the floor. Hands and body weight comes forward. This is your kneeling plank, of course. This is your toe plank. You decide which is more appropriate for you. Nice long neck. And then the knees can go down, walking the hands back to the knees. Those who are more advanced, you don't need to use the knees possibly. But bottom up, chin to the chest, slowly restack. Always being methodical through the body, of course. Coming up nice and tall without throwing the hips forwards. And then we'll go again. I'll show you the more advanced version this time, where the knees do not go to the floor. You just have to take small hand paces. Try not to let the body wiggle from side to side, lowering yourself into that perfect plank position. Nice straight line between heels and shoulders, neck nice and long, core muscles supporting. And then back we go. Of course, you can use the knees if you prefer. Slowly rebuilding. Last time now. Once more with the roll down, that'll bring us down to the floor. Nice and slow. Hands and knees to the floor. And we're going to go into the kneeling 100. If you've got a band, you want to pop the band in front of the thighs, you're welcome to. Otherwise, fingertips are reaching for the floor. Bottom switched on, core muscles switched on, shoulders dropped, neck nice and long. Getting ready to sniff in through the nose after 3, 2, 1. Sniff 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 10. 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 20. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 30. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 40. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 4, 50. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 60. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 70. In 2, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 80. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 90. Last set. 4, 5 and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Sit your bottom back, roll those shoulders and loosen out. Okay, we're going down to the floor now. Pop your head on a cushion if you want to. You're going to lay down with your knees bent at a right angle. Your pelvis is in neutral. And of course your core muscles are switched on. Check that right angle at the knees. Think about where your feet are on the floor. Remember, they've got to come back to that position every single time, unless you take on the harder levels. Of course, you can imprint if you really need to. So we'll breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, gently float one leg off the floor. As you breathe in, melt that foot back down to the floor. As you breathe out, you're going to float the other leg. Breathe in, melt it back down. Notice how the feet go back to exactly the same spot on the mat every single time. Knee comes to above the hip. But of course the back doesn't move, the core muscles must stay switched on, and your pelvis stays still. So stay with this single level if your pelvis is moving and you're working on keeping that pelvis settled. For those that are content and secure, you can go on to 2 legs. As I'm doing here, you breathe out to float one leg, breathe in, prepare, breathe out to float the other leg. But there is no reaction through the torso when you take the weight of the second leg in the air. Of course, here is where you can sink into imprint or a flat back if you wish. Alternatively, like I've done here, I've slid my feet further forwards, working that little bit harder. Here's your single leg level. It's the same deal for the double leg. You float, breathe in, prepare, float the other leg, and there shouldn't be a reaction through the torso. Your core muscles should be strong enough to maintain the weight of that leg, then the second leg in the air. With regards to the arms, you can keep those fingertips on top of your hip bones for as long as you wish. Otherwise, hands down by your sides or cross the arms over the chest. So I'm doing a relatively advanced version. Long legs, arms crossed over the chest. Now, if you wish, you could do reverse basic lift. So bring the legs back to 90 degrees and hover them in the air, both of them. You breathe in to lower one foot to the floor, maintaining that 90-degree angle at the knee. And you breathe out to lift the leg back up. So you're simply switching over from one side to the other. Again, you can lengthen the legs so the feet reach much further forwards on the mat each time, but the knees are still above the hips. Back, of course, is either in neutral or, of course, as always, you can use imprint or flat if you prefer. So long as those core muscles are supporting your back and your back is not arching, it's all good. Shoulders down away from the ears. Do make sure that the neck is relaxed and long. Okay, so you can melt down now and stretch long. We're going to roll over onto the right hand side. We're going to grab a hold of the ball and put the ball underneath the waist. Side lift off the ball. So both legs are straight, bottom leg behind, top leg in front. The wider the feet are, the better security and stability you have. That right arm is going to come out of the way. Place your right hand on your left shoulder. Easy version. The left hand goes in front. Tummy muscles switched on as you exhale. Drawing the core, press into the hand and float that right shoulder off the floor. So this is your level 1. Your level 2 is placing the hand on top of the thigh and only using your waist muscles to float the upper body. This is quite a big jump up from using the hand in front, but I'm sure some of you will be used to doing this version anyway. So keep the neck supported and long. Now if you need to, that right hand can go underneath the right ear just to support that head. Here I'm showing you the slightly more advanced version. Fingertips to the ear, elbow to the ceiling. There's one more version as well that will take it up another notch if you wish. Here we are, you straighten that top arm, keep the arm in contact with the ear. It adds on quite a bit more weight to the move. Notice how the feet stay on the floor. I'm not launching or bouncing my way up. I'm drawing into the strength from the core to float that shoulder smoothly and under complete control. There we go. We'll come down from that one now. We're going to stretch out, stay on the same side with side kick. So lengthen yourself out in a nice straight line. Of course, that bottom arm can bend if necessary. Rest your head on your forearm if you need to. Otherwise, the ear rests down on the shoulder or bicep area. The eyes are on the horizon. Back is lengthened. Core muscles in. As you exhale, float and lengthen the legs. Now, level 1, once again, we'll have the hand in front helping you to balance. Otherwise, the hand rests gently on top of the thigh. Eyes on the horizon. Breathe. Lengthen. Check that that right hand is not gripping the floor. To make things more challenging, you can float that top arm back and forth in line with the body. If you want to take the arm in front of and behind the body, that will make things more challenging. Alternatively, you can move the legs if you want to. Keep that arm in the air and swim the legs back and forth. The key is that you stay in a straight line, pending any leg movements, of course. Your back must not arch, so avoid throwing the hips forwards and sending the feet backwards. And of course, the right hand mustn't grip the floor. There we go, melt down from there and hug in. So before we do the other side, we're going to do a roll-up move. So if you wish, a beginner level, a lower level, you might want to use the ball just supporting behind your back. That's your little safety net. Tummy muscles switched on, and you collapse and sink down into the ball. Keep the shoulders broad, chin on your chest, and hollow out the tummy muscles, sinking backwards and then pulling into the belly button to pull you forwards again. Just check that ball doesn't drift away, and you can continue lifting the arms up if you wish, but sinking into the ball, keeping those eyes focused forwards. So that's for somebody with a sensitive back, or if you want to keep to a lower level, particularly for this move. Alternatively, we'll take the ball away. We'll bring a band into play for a slightly harder version. Just pop that band round the hands, the back of the hands, and pull out slightly with the band. So you've got some tension running through the shoulders. So we're going to roll back. Whether you go to the floor or not is completely up to you. Keep the tension in the band and slowly draw yourself forward, sitting right up on those sitting bones again. Sinking back, lifting the arms up for an extra challenge if you wish. Very gently placing the spine down on the floor and very gently, smoothly, completely controlled, drawing yourself back up again, one vertebrae at a time. I've got my legs bent. You don't have to have them bent if you don't want to. You can have those legs straight if you prefer. So, we're going to add on this time. Left hand in front, right hand pulls, twist the upper body round to one side 3 times. And then we're going to roll back again, pressing outwards on the band to keep the tension through the shoulders, roll down into the floor. Keep breathing, avoid arching your back, and then gently roll yourself back up. Up to the other side, you're twisting, so keep the right hand in front, pull the left hand back this time. Feel the work across your back and through the waist. Sink down. Arms up for the more advanced level, but keep those shoulders down, of course. Rolling into the floor. Gently picking yourself back up again. Smooth, slow, belly button to backbone. Left hand in front, pull the right hand back, twist 3 times. Using that band for a little bit of resistance. Of course, you can do this without the band. You can still do the twists. Off we go again. Sink, tuck your bottom under. Hollow out the tummy muscles. Keep it smooth, controlled all the way through. And then pulling to the other side. Make sure one hand stays in front and the other elbow pulls back. Avoid pulling up into the shoulders. There we go. So, give those shoulders a little bit of a roll and a stretch out. We're going to lay over onto our left hand side now. Pop the ball underneath the waist for those 2 side moves. Side lift off the ball first of all. So laying down, 2 straight legs. Top leg in front. The wider the feet, the better the base. That left hand comes out of the way and goes to the right shoulder. Of course, as I said on the other side, the hand can go underneath your head to support your neck. Easy version, hand goes in front, pressing into the hand, tightening into the waist to float the shoulder. Keep the belly button zipped up all the way through, of course. You don't want those tummy muscles to blow outwards, you want them drawing in. And here's your level 2, hand on the thigh, gently floating up. Floating the shoulder off the floor in a very controlled and smooth manner. Extra add-ons, fingers to the ear, elbow to the ceiling. Or there's that straight arm version if you prefer. Here's the straight arm version. Notice how the feet stay down. Everything's smooth. No jolting, no launching, no bouncing off the ball. Super. Okay, put the ball to the side and we'll do the side kick. So stretch yourself out nice and long once again. Ear resting on the bicep and shoulder area unless it's more suitable for you to bend the elbow and rest on the forearm instead. Of course, you can use a pillow here if that arm needs to go in front. Your eyes are on the horizon, the back is lengthened out, core muscles are switched on. Tighten, lengthen the legs and naturally let them float a bit off the floor. Just imagine you're standing and pointing to the sky. So your level 1, you can keep the right hand on the floor in front of you. Alternatively, the hand goes on top of the thigh. The left hand must not grip the floor, remember. Adding on. Top arm can wave. In line with the body will be slightly easier than if you swish the arm in front and behind. And of course, you can always add on with those legs if you wish. And you've got the option of pointing the fingers to the ceiling as well as the swimming legs if you want to. Keep breathing, eyes on the horizon. Keep your back lengthened, core muscles drawn in. Avoid arching your back, of course. Hug those legs in just to stretch out and release. And then we're going to lay on our front. We're going to do a back extension. You can pop your forehead on a pillow if you want to. Take the elbows out level with your shoulders. Hands and elbows resting down on the floor. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears and pull the belly button in. We'll breathe in, prepare. Breathe out, slide the shoulders away from your ears, lengthen through the back of the neck. You'll feel a tightening down in the lower back as it arches, and the chest and forehead will float off the floor. So this is your lower level, keeping the elbows and hands down on the floor. Alternatively, take the fingertips to the temples and allow the arms to float with the chest and head. But again, it must be smooth, slow and controlled. Again, notice that the feet are not jumping up off the floor. Feet should stay relaxed. Try and avoid allowing your bottom and legs to clench. Into the breaststroke. This is a more advanced move. So with nose down, you reach forwards. Breathe out, sweep the arms back to the thighs as the chest and forehead lifts. As you breathe in, bend the elbows, slide the fingers up the side of the body and lower the nose back to the floor. So you finish again with nose to the floor and arms pointing forwards. Still, the legs are relaxed, feet are down on the floor, all the work is in the lower back. Okay, let's do a cat stretch now. Tuck the bottom and chin under, tuck the tummy under, lift the middle of the back up for the ceiling. I'm going to use the ball again now. I'm going to do a move called supported back cycle. Now, if you're not keen on using the ball, you can use your pillow, or you can even just pop your hands underneath the edges of your bottom. You don't have to be on a ball if you don't wish. If you are going to use the ball just goes to your lower back, maintaining your bottom off the floor for this one. Make sure the heels are underneath your knees and in line with your hips, knees and toes pointing forwards. Hands can rest on the floor for this one. Let's switch the core muscles on. We'll bring the right knee into the chest. Breathe in, prepare. As you breathe out, send the leg forward, scrape the floor, lift the straight leg up. Breathe in to bend, breathe out to slide forwards, lift again. So the leg is cycling backwards. We do want that foot to touch the floor and slide forwards. And the leg, when it's being lifted, should be straight. Next level up, take the hands to the tummy. So using less arm support with this one. And the next level up will be to cross the arms over the chest. No support at all from the arms. Of course, if you know how to do the double leg version, feel free to carry on with both legs working at the same time. Remember, both legs should be moving at the same time. When one points back, the other should point forwards. Okay, so those doing the single leg, we're going to swap sides now. So let's put the left leg into the chest. Breathe in, prepare, breathe out, slide the leg forwards, straighten, lift, and breathe in to bend to repeat again. Smooth and slow, sliding the foot forwards, lifting up a straight leg. Adding on with hands to the tummy or cross the arms over the chest. You decide which level is more suitable for you. Remember to breathe all the way through. Go at the pace that suits you and your breathing. Recognise that it's the straight leg being lifted that is the real challenge here for the core. And just double check that that other leg that's not working, make sure the knee hasn't collapsed out to the side. Okay, quick little view for you to see the double leg version, just in case you want to give it a go. So both legs off the floor. Left leg back, right leg forward. So left knee bends, slides forwards as the right leg lifts. Bend, slide, lift, bend, slide, lift, bend, slide, lift. Notice how one's pointing forward, one's pointing backwards. As one is drawing backwards, the other is bending and going forwards. And again, you can add on with those arm add-ons, so hands to the tummy, or indeed crossing the arms over the chest. Feel free to take it rather slow when you do this one for the first time, as it can be a little on the wobbly side. Use your core. Remember to keep breathing and keep those legs moving all the time. Super, well done. Okay, we're going to come off the ball now. Easiest way is simply to roll over to the side. And then that ball is going to go between the knees and it's going to help us out for the bridge. We're just doing heels and toes today. You're welcome to do arm sweeps if you wish, but I'm going to talk you through heels and toes. Heels in line with the hips, underneath the knees, of course. Pelvis starts in neutral. We'll breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, tilt back and slowly peel the spine up off the floor. Build a straight line between thigh and ribs. Feel as if your tummy muscles are picking the spine up from above. We'll do the same on the way down. Keep the tummy muscles switched on. Peel upwards. Make sure your bottom is quite loose. It shouldn't be rock hard. And then breathe in and roll the spine back down into the floor. So we're trying to manipulate the spine as much as we can. Create as much movement as possible in that spine. Next, here's heels and toes. We're going to lift the heels up. Core muscles in as you exhale, tilt back, peel the spine up off the floor. You might find that you've got more movement through the lower back with the heels lifted. Then we're going to breathe in and roll the spine back down to the floor. Place the heels down, lift the toes up, not out to the side, keep them pointing forwards, and do the same. Core muscles in, tilt back, peel up, all the way up onto the shoulders, breathe in, go down. You might find it a little bit more difficult to manipulate the spine. And you can keep repeating that, lift the heels, peel up and down, lift the toes, peel up and down, or you can do a mixture of the two. So you could lift the heel of one foot and the ball of the other foot. Slowly peel back and lower down. And then, of course, next time round, you would change and alternate. But the key really is to make sure that you do not squeeze your bottom to push your hips high. You are squeezing your tummy muscles. The tummy muscles are lifting the pelvis from above, and your pelvis is lifting each and every section of the spine. Think of that spine as a chain of links, one link being picked up and placed down at a time. Here I'm showing you that you can take the hands off the floor. You can cross those arms over the chest for this move if you wish. Remember to keep pinching the ball between the knees throughout the move. Okay, moving on then. We're going to go to the oyster. We're going to bring the band back into play in a moment. I'm going to start with the lowest, easiest oyster. So we're on our right hand side. Head is propped up in the hand and our legs are curled in. So I'm showing here that you're not allowed to let the hips roll back. So core muscles in, almost hold the hip in place as you open the knees and squeeze into your bottom. So it's just the knees that are opening. You might find that it's not opening very high at all. Don't worry, that's quite normal. Try and squeeze into the glutes. Next level up. So take the elbow underneath the shoulder, lift the rib, draw the shoulder away from the ear. Anchor the band down with the bottom hand. And then pull backwards, not up into the neck. Pull backwards with the elbow as you open the knees. So the torso should be solid, locked still by that good, strong core. Here's your next add-on. Lift the feet off the floor. And then repeat the move with those feet in the air all the time. Really intensifies the work into the glutes. And if you want to, like I'm doing, you can still pull on that band to work through your upper back. Core muscles in, of course. Do not collapse into the rib cage. Super. Bring that leg in front. A little bit of a stretch out for your glutes. And then we're going to go to the other side. We'll stay low again, but you're welcome to go up to the upper version straight away if you know where you're going. So legs are curled in. Head propped up in the hand, elbow to the floor. Remember, do not allow the hips to fall backwards. You could imagine you've got a cup of tea resting on the top of your hip. The knee opens. Glutes squeeze, hips stay still. So this is your lower level. Stay with this if you want. And of course, moving up through the levels, elbow under the shoulder, lift through the rib cage, shoulder away from the ear. Pull up through the elbow while still opening and closing at the knees. So you're working your glutes and you're working your upper back. Bit of core control there as well, maintaining the lifted the rib cage. And that final add-on, if you want, lift the feet off the floor. So you've just got the bottom knee on the floor. Open and close. You've got more flexibility, more range of movement with the feet lifted. You will find that it'll intensify that squeeze into the glutes there. Core muscles in, of course. Keep that torso solid. Lovely. Bring that leg in front just to give it a bit of a stretch. Then next move will stretch those hips out as well. It's called the saw. And I might recommend that some of you sit on a cushion for this one. You want your legs to go as wide as you are comfortable with. Wriggle those sitting bones into the floor or indeed your cushion if you need one. Core muscles are switched on. Drop the shoulders back. Nice tall spine. Arms out like a ballerina. We're aiming little finger to little toe. So breathe in, prepare, breathe out and twist, reaching little finger down towards the little toe. Keep your bum down, keep the legs straight if you can. Breathe in to lift up, breathe out to twist and reach to the opposite side. Quite a challenging one, this one. You might find that knees pop up. You might find that that little finger gets nowhere near your little toe. Don't worry. We all have our own levels of flexibility. So long as you can feel a stretch running diagonally from your shoulder to the opposite hip through your back and down through the back of the leg, that's what's key. Each time you come to the centre, be mindful of dropping the shoulders down to lengthen through the neck. Common mistake with this one is the shoulders creep up and up and up and up and up, and you just need to realign every time you get back to the centre. Core muscles zipped up. And there, let's bring those legs in, give them a little wiggle, and we'll move on to the rocking child's pose. So, knees are open if you can. Let's sit our bottom back into our heels, stretch the arms out in front, let your chest and tummy dip between the legs if possible, really opening out through the groin and the glute area. And then reversing that, we're going to let the hips sink forwards a little bit, allow the feet to drop open if that suits, just to stretch through the hip flexors. Be careful of your back, of course. We'll take the feet back together, push back into a child's pose, and then come forwards. Allow the feet to slip open. Just be careful of the knees, of course. Shoulders away from the ears when you do that little sagging hip opening move. Last one here. Okay, seated position now. We'll take the arms back behind us, lift those arms up, drop the chin towards your chest, really open out across the front of the shoulders. Then we're going to reverse that. Imagine you've got a large boulder in front of you. Drop the chin to the chest again, but push the middle of the back out, opening out the back of the rib cage. Give that big boulder a nice big hug. Giving those arms a little shake and a loosen out. We're going to go side to side this time to stretch out through the waist. Keep your bottom glued to the floor. Reaching over from one side to the other, lifting the rib cage as you do so. Pressing your bottom down into the floor. Really feel the stretch underneath the shoulder blade and between ribs and hips. And then the last stretch, I'll turn my back on you for this one. You're going to take your right hand behind, grab a hold with the left hand and pull gently so that the shoulder drops. And then your head is just going to tilt to the left, lengthening and opening up the muscle between ear and shoulder on the right. Be gentle when you release, and we'll do the same with the other side. So pull across, tilt the head to the right, nice long stretch. Well done everyone, I do hope you enjoyed that. And I look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Take care everyone, and look after yourself. Bye bye.